Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Immortality Season 6 Episode 12 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. 900 million. A Nirvana actually shouted the price of 900 million. This was not only shocking, but even the Jade Machine that sold things stunned. Then he waved his hand and immediately there were two masters who disappeared behind the scenes. They flew past the two VIP rooms. The price is too high, it is not worth it. According to the truth, this Nirvana is in the sky, and it can only sell between 500 million and 600 million. Now, the price increase is simply burning money, and it is almost ruined. Also scared and trembled. 1 billion. The party smiled coldly and shouted out a stunned word count. 1 billion, a full 1 billion medicinal herbs. It is rumored that the great emperor refining 5 or 6 pieces of the most powerful treasures, and sold them to the heavenly pavilion, but also changed to 1 billion medicinal herbs. Now this Nirvana is a legendary heavenly special. But after all, it is not an elixir, it is impossible to sell $1 billion. Hua Qianju squinted and frowned. He did not think that the other party actually raised the price to such a high. 1 billion medicinal drugs for him, although worthy, but the other side is in a must-have posture, but it seems to have the meaning of fair increase. If you continue this time, I am afraid I will take a horrible number. He is not a Nissan goldsmith. Although he has received the inheritance of Panwu Xianzuan, he has been swaying over the past few years, and his cultivation has consumed a lot of resources. For this Nirvana, it seems not worth it. Of course, he did not know that the opposite side was Fang Han. If he knew it, he would definitely continue to call it Mr. Hua. Feng Prince saw the face of Hua Qianju. If you want to buy this medicine, I can. No. Hua Qianju said, put it down again, and it's cheaper. Your brother, the prince, is a great savvy, and the billion-dollar medicinal drugs are all in the hands of the heroes of the longevity. It seems that you have to be good. Take note. There are some good remedies, especially when the finale is over, there is an elixir. Wait for some money to buy the last baby. The sale of the treasure conference, the first one is good, it is a good start, the last one is the finale. Indeed, I also heard that this is the last one of Judingshuan's treasure-selling conference. It is the legendary elixir? I don't know what kind of immortality. Wang Qian said, leave money and buy the last elixir. It is the right way. Xiandan? Legend has it that only the talents of the longevity can take it. I have to take a look. Hua Qian calmed down. After the auction is over, I will see the prince, see what he wants Nirvana. Therefore, Hua Qian is no longer asking for price. The first game of Nirvana was bought by Fang Han for 1 billion days. In Fang Han's VIP room, a man in white and a white cloak holds a box containing Nirvana. Hey, Prince, this is Nirvana, please take out 1 billion medicinal herbs. Doubt you. I have only 200 million in my body, plus your 600 million, only 800 million. The prince passed the voice to Fang Han. He didn't want to come up with more remedies. Hey, Prince, I know that you have 4 or 5 billion savings. But I don't want you to be white, you know, I can refine you on Ying Dan. But this is not good. Communicate with the spirit and the prince. That's good. The prince bit his teeth and found 4 crystal cards from his body. He added 6 sheets of gold on the top and handed it to the white man. When the white man checked it, he handed Nirvana to the prince. The prince, the baby of the last auction of Judingshuan, is the legendary elixir. If you are interested, you can pay attention to participation. Okay, let's go. The prince was hurting and waved. Fang Han took this Nirvana Dan. Hey, prince, let's go. What? Just go? Don't wait for the elixir that was finally auctioned out. Although you can't buy it, it's good to see it, but it's the legendary elixir. Is it good to see if I have it? Even if I get it, I can't swallow it. It's a scourge. I can say with certainty that this time the elixir will fall into the hands of Hua Qianju, but he can't take it. He will be me sooner or later. Kill, Xiandan is also mine, what is urgency? I got this Nirvana Dan, 10 *** can be practiced into the realm of Shentong's 7 golden Dan. And Huotian is sure to come over and check you after buying the item. When I found out what was going on in the past, it was not a good thing to conflict. I can't help him now. After he has become a golden dragon, hey! Let him survive, he can't die. Fang Han's powerful mental thoughts were poured into the mind of the prince. The prince thought about it, and it was really good, so he stood up and said, let's go. This time, Zhu Dingxuan was released. The group hurriedly rushed back to the palace. Fang Han asked the prince to find a separate secret room, so he began to practice retreat. This is a secret room with a depth of more than 100 feet. It is cast into a wall with a few pieces of hardware iron on all sides. It is engraved with various hidden charms. This is the secret room used by the prince to cultivate the magical powers. Under the study, it is said that even if there is no big movement, there will be no breath. Fang Han is here to practice, ready to be promoted to Jin Dan. Shentong's 7 heavy, the realm of Jin Dan seeds. This will also be the beginning of his step into the sky, with more than 50 kinds of great supernatural powers, and then become a golden Dan. In the process of transformation, the flesh will also strengthen to an incredible realm. The more magical powers, the harder it is to make Jin Dan. But once it is refining, when it is transformed, those supernatural powers will be combined with the flesh, resulting in a significant increase in the physical life. If after the promotion of Jin Dan, the magical power of cultivation, although the same power, but did not increase the role of Shou Yuan. Like the ancestors of Qing Yang, there are 13 kinds of magical powers in Jin Dan, but 6 of them are cultivated after being converted into Jin Dan. In other words, when he was promoted to Jin Dan, he changed with 7 kinds of magical powers. Shou Yuan has not increased much, only a few hundred years. Fang Qingxue is transformed by 24. Then it will increase a lot, and it is not unusual for 3 or 5,000 years. Zhao Shuani, Song Wei's Jin Dan, although there are 27 kinds of magical powers, but most of them are later cultivated, there is not much in this life. The magical power before Jin Dan is called Ben Ming Shen Tong. Why is it called this life? Or because of the transformation of Jin Dan, these magical powers and the flesh are exchanged and become one. In the future, it is extremely flexible and changeable, which is equal to a part of the body. Therefore, it is called the life of God. The transformation of Jin Dan is an extremely important process. It is a cornerstone of Changsheng Road. The stronger the foundation, the more opportunities it will have to cultivate into the longevity and become a giant. However, the average master, before Jin Dan, does not have much life. There are also a few magical powers that can't be cultivated. I can only become a golden dragon quickly and live for a few more years. See if there are any other opportunities. Most of these masters are hopeless in the longevity and cannot be a giant. I have 55 kinds of magical powers, and I have become a golden dragon. Will it be directly converted into 9,000 years old? A strange idea rose up in Fang Hanshin, and then smiled. Xingyun baby. This time I spent 1 billion medicinal herbs and bought 1 nirvana. Give it to you. If you can't break through the realm of heaven and earth, I will eat you. Fang Han's hand, the nebula baby, came out from the 5-star bracelet of the sun and the moon, and opened his eyes. He ate the gods through the fruit, yin-yang wanshou dan. Also, Fang Qingxue was tempered with an inexhaustible electric sign. Actually, it has not broken through to the human world, which is somewhat ridiculous. Although Fang Han knows that the future star of the nebula baby cultivation is a supreme magical power, it is very difficult to break through. Although it is not as good as its own 5 emperors, but the accumulation of needs is also terrifying. Eat. 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 I will eat this medicinal herb first. Nebula baby grabbed Nirvana Dan, he smiled, spewed out a star force wrapped, swallowed inside the stomach. Puff. 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 This swallowed Nirvana, and he sprayed a flame all over his body. The powerful force seemed to calcine every inch of his body, like a phoenix, and the fire was born again. even the suffocation of his future stars is also being calcined. A glimpse of the starlight is even brighter, like a galaxy vortex, constantly flowing, showing the magic of the universe. I am born to be lazy, a dream of 1,000 years, and suddenly I am a god, the future starry sky. The nebula baby seems to be chanting a scorpion among the future stars. In the chanting, a nebula on his head is flowing, and it has become a wonderful array. At the foot, there is also a nebula rising. His future stars are suffocating and finally condensed into a battle. It turned out that when he urged this supernatural power, it was like the holy baby in the starry sky, but now, there is a faint scent of the starry sky. Future stars *** king. He waved his paws and kept patted, great momentum, mother. There is no disappointment to me. I have cultivated to the heavens and humans. 1 billion medicinal herbs have no white flowers. I still have a penny for goods. If you still don't break through, my suicidal thoughts are all there. Fang Han Song breathed a sigh of relief. The magic of Nirvana. The Nebula Baby breakthrough, related to his big plan, this breakthrough, the Nebula Baby can also go to his own Stargate Yawu Yang Wei. Jiao Shuani, your Jin Dan can come in handy. Fang Hanshi smiled and took out the golden Dan of Jiao Shuani, and a shot was blown out. Jin Dan immediately burst, and instantly for 27 kinds of magical powers, rotate around. Fang Han is in the middle of each other, spurting out the vitality, stabilizing these large arrays, not dissipating. The Nebula Baby, not fast enough to swallow these big bangs. The Nebula Baby has just cultivated into the heavens and humanity, and the 5 internal organs have undergone earth-shaking changes. The physical body has strengthened and the life yuan has increased. It is recollecting. When I heard Fang Han, I didn't even think about it. I ate it, and the big ones were eaten. I ate 26. Only a large array is left, that is the big battle of the gods. Fang Han nodded, and the life of the cockroach flew out. He swung around the sacred gods and condensed it. The gradual squadron was turned into 6 elements and was sucked into his 6 hexagrams. 6 seals of the monument, but also flew out, with the spur of Fang Han, constantly smaller. 6 eyes sealed the monument. Incorporate my 6 scorpions. Make my body incomparably stronger. Condensed into the golden Dan, not stepping into the sky. Just here. At this time, it is a crucial moment. A huge sum of billions of medicinal herbs, bought a nirvana, but also let Fang Han get completely bankrupt from the small treasury of the 6 gods. However, in exchange for the Nebula Baby Mana Advance, and 27 kinds of magical powers, now even a battle with Jin Dan Master. And let yourself strip out the Fengshen ** from Jin Dan. This sale is still cost-effective. If it wasn't for the Fenglingling that met the Emperor's pen under the strong oppression, the original life was pushed to the peak and the virtual Dan was condensed. Fang Han will definitely eat Nirvana. But now that it has been dummy, it is only half a step away from the real Golden Dan. Fang Han decided to strengthen his own strength, relying on his own insights, to break through the Shentong 7 golden dragons rather than relying on Nirvana. This foundation will be more solid, and the essence of cultivation will be more profound. Condensing Jin Dan requires a strong energy. In particular, Fang Han, who cultivated 55 kinds of great supernatural powers, needs to change the amount of Jin Dan's needs more than the average master does not know. Therefore, Fang Han's idea is to use the Fengshen ** and the 6 eyes to seal the monument into the 6 hexagrams, so that the 5 elements of the 5 filths and the hexagrams of gas condense together, pushing the strength of the flesh to a horrible level. This kind of vitality is boiling, it is possible to change the Golden Dan. Under the scent of Fang Han, the 6 seals of the gods are getting smaller, and finally turned into 6 eyes, mysterious eyeballs, constantly swaying, emitting light from the gods, flickering, and being swallowed by Fang Han. Going down, running mana, moved to the big intestine, small intestine, bladder, 3 coke, biliary, and stomach. The 6 seals of the gods became eyes, and among the 6 hexagrams, they were intertwined with the gods of Jiao Shuani's hard work and gradually merged into one. On the same day, Zhao Shuaini sacrificed the monument to the gods, thinking that one day, he could reap the body and strengthen the body, transforming the flesh into an extremely powerful realm, enhancing the ability of Shouyuan and vitality. However, now it is all cheaper. Feng Shenlu, eternal youth. The secret of refining the gods, the cold and the constant enlightenment, the operation, the sacred gods among the 6 scorpions are brewing, creeping. First of all, stomach, the strength is increasing, and between the creeps, it seems that a mountain can be digested. Fang Han knows that at this time, even if he swallows diamonds, hardware iron, and so on, the stomach can be digested casually. The 6 hexagrams gradually became strong, and they drove the power of the body. The celestial spirits captured by the world tree were also washed down in large numbers, and every inch of flesh and blood, every inch of skin was washed, then rushed into the 6 hexagrams, giving the ability to seal the gods and seal the monument. Hey! I don't know how long it has been. Among the square cold hexagrams, they were called up separately, and the asterisk and the function monument were finally combined and integrated into the flesh and blood, at this moment. Hey! Fang Han felt that one of his 6 scorpions had one more eye, illuminating everything inside the body. I have never had this before, and his understanding of the body is so clear. Your body is made up of many tiny particles. These particles can't explain how small they are, even if the spells are applied under the eyes, they can't see clearly. These small particles, there are hundreds of millions, each arranged, in accordance with the laws of the world, composed of endless arrays. Fang Han feels that if he is familiar with the characteristics of the hundreds of millions of small particles that make up the body, he can cultivate into an undead body. But of course, this is impossible. But just like this, it is enough to let him touch the essence of life. The mystery of the flesh. 5 internal organs, 5 lines of God. Condensed 1. Transform the flesh. In the function asterisk and the function monument completely integrated into the 6 hexagrams, 6 eyes more than 6 eyes, illuminating the whole body moment, Fang Han immediately urging the 5 elements of the 5 internal organs to combine with each other. This time, it is like a scoop of oil poured onto the fire. Boom! The roots of Fang Han's body are beating, and the flesh is blown up like a flame. The flesh and blood of the whole body is creeping here, and it seems that hundreds of millions of bugs are rearranged and combined. It seems that steel is twisted into steel asterisk and refired. The huge vitality is rolling, thunder, magic, 5 elements of gas, the spirit of the gods, running around the body. The hardware ground in this chamber began to collapse and melt. Earth-shaking changes. The body of Fang Han has undergone an earth-shaking change. Originally, his body was strong enough, but now, he is moving on a stronger road and moving forward. Hey! As the flesh continued to strengthen, it reached a peak, and it began to stop. Then, on the body of Fang Han, there was a crack in the porcelain. Among those cracks, there was a shocking blood flowing. This is a precursor to the physical collapse, and it's a bad test. Not good, it really went wrong, panicked and cried, the body cannot be tempered, there must be a fixed practice, such as the sacred gold body. Now Fang Han has no rules, just want to become stronger, then how can it be, Xingji will decline. If you don't get the flesh, it will collapse. It looks out that Fang Han is trying to become stronger and desperate to change his body. He has already left the cultivation method of Luo Jin. It seems to be looking for his own feelings and innovating a physical practice method. Fang Han is in the middle of the transportation, and it is a golden body in a while, and it is the ancient Sanwu body in Panwu's vigorous magical power. In a while, it is also a few inexplicable secrets of refining, seeking the best path of strengthening. This will be dangerous. There is nothing wrong with Fang Han's experience, especially in the Taiyuan Xianfu. For 18 years, the mysterious people have been constantly teaching and laying a solid foundation for practice. It can be said that his current practice of practice is richer than Huatian. Feathering the door to teach the wind white feathers cannot teach the Huatiandu for 18 years. Moreover, the mysterious man is much stronger than the white feathers, and his knowledge is very powerful. The reason why Fang Han's cultivation is soaring and leaping forward is that he can cultivate the cost of life in the 5 elements, and most of them are accumulated in the Taiyuan Shenfu for 18 years. However, even if his experience is richer, he can't just temper the flesh and not follow the predecessor's exercises. After all, the experience of the predecessors is much richer than him. He is also a small character with a 6-point relationship. Just when you are ready to let Fang Han stop, suddenly Fang Han body is concentrated. Thousands of times of concentration. At this moment, found that Fang Han's body seemed to be somewhat like the moment when the human pen narrowed down to create a mixed whole mood. At the moment of concentration, the cracks on his body disappeared, and all the blood was retracted into the body. And the body becomes more compact and tight under this collapse. Especially his left hand, in the collapse, strong squeezing, a few black runes, the eggs are generally broken, completely combined with their own vitality. The sorcerer's hand is completely broken. Combine with the body. I saw all this. It turns out that you have prepared for it. You actually realized this trick from the Emperor's pen and deliberately broke the back. Hey! Fang Han's long breath, his body moving slightly, the inside of the bone sounded a wonderful sound of the day, the muscles squirmed and faint, and the pause conveyed a blowing snail and hitting asterisk. Asterisk drums sound. This is not a voice, it is purely produced by the body. The body can also practice to blow the snail. The extent of the drum screamed. Heaven! How strong is your body? King of Blood Knight? Give me a knife. Fang Han did not answer the words, just shouted. Hey! The King of Blood Knight flew out and turned into a asterisk knife, and walked in the void for a while. Many blood-colored civilizations disappeared, and the momentum climbed. It was gaining momentum, and after a few breaths, the momentum quickly reached its peak. A gust of air turbulence, the King of Blood Knight disappeared out of thin air, 1,000th of a moment, appeared on the top of Fang Han's head, and slashed. When? The King of Blood Knight just squatted down and touched the flesh of Fang Han, and he was stuck and could not be killed. It was actually rebounded. Reverted to a teenager wearing a night cloak, his face showed great surprise. I am a Taoist device. Killing God and destroying Buddha, how can you not touch your body? How strong is your body? Heaven is like a magic weapon. My current body has actually become a magic weapon, the existence of illegal treasures, the integration of the 6-headed monument, the cover of the magic hand, these 2 magic weapons, originally Zhao Xuani, the Ghost Emperor in order to strengthen his life, the body the tyrannical refining is just not comprehending some things, so it can't be completely integrated with the body. I also saw the Emperor's pen, and realized the truth of the combination of human and poetry. Now my body, though not the body of immortality, is generally people can't kill me. Fang Han Dao, now my body has undergone this tempering, and it is full of vitality and blood. It is the time to refining Jin Dan. Between the words of his speech, the symbol on the top of the head flew out, and immediately there was a melody, which was blowing the snail, and snapping the drum, and his body also issued a blow snail. The sum of the blow the drum. The preparation work is so full, Fang Han is ironic, and he has become a golden dragon, sweeping all the masters of the mysterious secret. He is now fully grasped. Unceremonious, Fang Han even sprayed his spirits and injected himself into his powerful life. Suddenly, this contains 55 kinds of great magical powers, once again turned into an unreal golden dragon, and in the not only the perfusion of Fang Han, there is a virtual reality. Others condense Jin Dan, careful, and extremely difficult. Fang Han is now, but he is very capable, nothing else, he is prepared to be too full. The body is extremely powerful, giving a huge amount of energy needed to transform Jin Dan. At the moment when Jin Dan is about to condense all the space, shaking together the vitality of the rolling into the Huangquan map. At this moment, suddenly the Huangpeng figure in the Huangpeng figure seems to have felt the unprecedented vitality. The big engulfing magic array above, violently running. The surrounding vitality swept through the air, and even this giant egg automatically flew out, swallowing the imaginary degeneration of the cold. Not good. In an instant, a lot of vitality was swallowed up, and Fang Dan looked at the golden Dan that was about to condense, and became a virtual Dan. Fang Han did not think that this kind of change would happen. When the golden dragon was condensed, the strong volatility that erupted suddenly shocked the Gengpeng giant egg engraved with the big devouring magic array, and automatically flew up and swallowed his vitality. Big swallowing is one of the magical powers of the magical door. It is extremely powerful and extremely difficult to refine. Now this is being spurred and swallowed up, almost destroying the cultivation plan of Fang Han. Court death. Fang Han was so angry that he would condense into Jin Dan and was actually destroyed by this giant egg. How could he not be angry? With a wave of his hand, he grasped the giant egg hard, and the virtual Dan on his head gradually became the symbol of life and took back his mind. Condensed Jin Dan cannot tolerate a little bit of difference pool, now being disturbed by this, swallowed the vitality, certainly not a sacrifice. Fortunately, this giant egg has not really destroyed my roots. The energy consumed is not long before it can be reaccumulated and reconstructed into Jin Dan. Fang Han checked his body and body. It doesn't matter. With the existence of the tree of the world, it is not a long time to accumulate the vitality of the world, and it will be a matter of water. Holding the Peng Peng giant egg in his hand, Fang Han pondered for a long time and found that this giant egg became illusory. How much is it that he has cultivated himself as a golden Dan? It was taken in by the Peng Peng dome, and the probability that this giant egg evolved into a big devouring magic array was much higher. And Fang Han has a feeling of flesh and blood connected with this Peng Peng dome. The strange feeling is that this egg seems to be born of its own. However, this is not unusual. The Jindan dynasty that the Peng Peng giant has just absorbed has its own life essence. It seems that I want to use 56 kinds of gods to become golden dragons instead of 55 kinds. This Peng Peng giant egg may hatch into a big devouring magic array. When I am in the middle of my life, there will be more. It's also very good to devour a magical power. It's even better than Meng Xiaobai's body. Fang Han thought about it and suppressed the regret that he could not be converted into Jin Dan. The evolution of the big devouring magic array is no more than a large cutting operation. It is a real great success. Adding to the life symbol is more powerful. The golden Dan that condensed in the future is even more powerful. Forget it, Fang Han, although this incident has not been able to refine Jin Dan, but it is also a matter of time. Moreover, this time you are not without gains, the strength is greatly increased, and the power of the flesh is a horrible mess. While saying this, but not refining into Jin Dan, there is no hope that the 9 ghosts of the Ghost Emperor will be refining the evil spirits. It is very difficult to fight against He Tian. Fang Han knows that the ghosts of the 9 ghosts are. It is the cultivation of Shinton's 10-day rebellion, and after refining, it is a hierarchical existence. Otherwise, he will cultivate more magical powers. After all, there are too many realms that are different from He Tian, and it is difficult to compete. 9 ghosts, all of them are magical powers, and the power is huge. Even if you become a golden Dan, the chance of refining is only 80%. But if you can integrate the big phagocytosis into the scorpion and change it, then there is no problem at all. After the phagocytosis is done, you can almost increase your strength without limit. Ramp. Well, it is the safest. Fang Han nodded. Just as he walked out of the secret room and flew all the way to the study room on the ground, he saw Prince tidying up a pile of secret documents. As soon as he saw Fang Han coming out, he immediately asked, "Do you have a friend? There is still some fire." Fang Han Dao. Hearing this, there was a clear disappointment on the face of the prince's face. Is this? He then saw a giant baby who came out with Fang Han. The cultivation of this giant baby is actually a 5-day world of supernatural powers, and the body conveys a horrible atmosphere, which is many times more horrible than the Qingyang ancestors. Let him have the taste of facing a giant Jindan small giant. This is the small head of the Stargate, the Nebula baby. I helped Nidandan to step into the heavens and humanities, and refining the Jindan of Zhao Xuanyi. Now he is at 27 kinds of magical powers. There is infinite power. Fang Han introduced. It turned out to be like this. Hearing this, the prince sighed with relief. If Fang Han himself took nirvana and did not cultivate it into Jindan, then he would doubt whether Fang Han could step into the magical powers in his life. But since Fang Han did not eat, it means that this person wants to build on his own ability. Zhao Xuani's Jindan was refining. The Nebula baby also broke through, and he inherited the great position of the Star Gates. It seems that there is great hope. It seems that this method of cold is extremely powerful and wants to be from the stars. The door got the most benefit. The prince thought of many problems at the same time, and at the same time, he got up and greeted the Nebula baby. He was well informed and knew the major events of the various sects. The position of the Nebula baby in the Stargates, he naturally looked at the fire and knew the cold. Why do you give nirvana to him and not eat it yourself? You have been retreating for 2 days. In these 2 days, Judingshuan's sales conference has ended. Finally, a legendary elixir, called Shengshenghuawawen, caused the looting of the scene, the price climbed, and finally Hua Qianju bought it at the price of 3 billion yuan. There are several mysterious giants who have a long-lived secret and participated in the bidding, but they have not been able to buy it. The prince said the news. In a few words, I can imagine the scene that was hot at the time. Shengshenghuahua pill? That is the longevity secret master used to break through the undead body. I know why He Qian is buying it at all costs. He wants to take this Dan after breaking through the longevity secret. The longevity secret is the second most important undead body. That is almost in the door of the feathers, and it is invincible. Even if it is killing you, Feng Baiyu is not good to say. Ramp. I don't know this. Fang Han's soul communication, Hua Qianju's cultivation of Panwu vigorously, it is extremely difficult to break through the longevity secret, but once it breaks through, it can be quickly cultivated to the undead body, and he has now got this life-made pill. I can definitely say that as soon as he breaks into the longevity secret, he takes it immediately, and the 10/10th chance becomes an immortal body. The right to speak is extraordinary, his wishful thinking, playing extremely wonderful. There is still a worse news. The prince's tone is a bit heavy. What is it? The secret news brought by the 6 leagues is too elder to the elders. The emperor has lowered the purpose of the emperor. He has already let Hua Qianju and Yang Shui get engaged, and only wait for the two to cultivate into the longevity secret and formally become a Taoist. Smoke 1? I saw this woman's name on the longevity list, ranked 2nd, and the ranking is still in front of Hua Tiandu. Who is this woman? Fang Han remembered the longevity candidate list. This woman is a very high-ranking strongman in Tai's true discipleship. It is unfathomable. The eternal giants of the eternal mystery can't clean her up. But it was not reincarnation 300 years ago. If it is with He Qian, they are all combined to become a Taoist. This force is afraid of being horrible. The prince licked his lips. Among the many princes, the 4 princes are the highest princes, and the princes of the big brothers supported by He Qian. Although it is the emperor's eldest son, it is far less than the easy prince, but now the news has come, Feng's power has expanded greatly. Smoke and water, this woman, 300 years ago, once had a fight with the elders of the eternal demon sect who had just cultivated to the first eternal mystery of the longevity, and was trapped by the devil, 3 days. 3 nights, actually did not clean up, but instead she used the magical power to tear the magic array out of the trap. It also ruined a few magic weapons without punishment and thus became famous. It's so good, the master of the long-lived mystery can't stand this woman. Hey! It turned out that He Qian is going to Tai. It is getting engaged. Fiancé. Yang Shui 1. Shengshenghuahua pill. This thing, sooner or later, it is mine. Whether it is human or armor, I have to collect all the bags. In the middle. Fang Cold sneered, this news is very good, very good. Very timely. When the prince heard this, he shuddered and shuddered, this person is really daring. What is it, whether it is human or medicinal medicine, he wants it? Is it because he still wants to win the game? Can you ***** the smoke? The woman is close to the existence of the giants of the ages. If you forget it, it is a good thing that this person can help me through the sky. And, Fang Han Deoyu. In order to help you buy nirvana, I spent 400 million medicinal herbs, and spent the money that I bought the birthday gift after March. You said that you can refine Yuan Ying Dan, I don't know. Surely, you don't have to prepare. Fang Han thought for a moment, the exquisite birthday of Ling Long Xianzuan, you and me go together, the birthday ceremony is prepared by me. I will give a gift to everyone, not everyone else, make sure that Ling Long Xianzuan looks at you and me with great care. This? The prince saw that Fang Han refused to pay substantial things, and hesitated. He naturally refused to believe these empty words. Hey! Fang Han hand swayed, and he took out a big golden dragon. The 27 kinds of magical powers above are running, exuding powerful power. It is Song Wei's Jin Dan. How about Jin Dan, who is a disciple of Too Much, to the birthday of Ling Long Xianzuan? This birthday. The prince swallowed the swallow. Ling Long Xianzuan and Tai Yiman are the enemy of life and death. If you offer Jin Dan of a disciple to be a birthday ceremonies, then Ling Long Xianzuan will definitely be beautiful. However, this golden Dan is an invaluable treasure, an invaluable treasure. What is this? What is the exquisite fairy statue? We will give her this birthday, she will certainly have a generous gift. To be a model for the world's monks. At that time, you and I have imaginable benefits. Maybe Ling Long Xianzuan are happy, costly to force you to promote Jin Dan, there may not be this possibility. Fang Han Dao? This is too much offensive. I am still a member of the territory. The prince is a smart person and naturally knows the complexity of this matter. Now one door does not support you, what are you afraid of? If you say it, even if you don't become a prince, you don't lose money by relying on the big tree of Ling Long Xianzuan. You don't look for a backing now. If you can't be an emperor, it will be washed more badly in the future. This is to prepare a retreat for you. Fang Han's plan quietly formed a scale. A retreat? When the prince heard the words of Fang Han, he was also heartbroken. In fact, he is not in the color of many emperors, this time eager to send a birthday gift to Ling Long Xianzuan, that is, to please the exquisite and blessed land. If you can win the exquisite blessing of a female monk as Wang Hao, the status will rise sharply. However, he did not dare to blatantly offend a door. Now Fang Han actually said that the birthday gift to be sent to Ling Long Xianzuan is a golden dragon of Zhao Xuanyi. This matter will certainly make Ling Long Xianzhao happy, but it is a crime to be offended. However, Ling Long Xianzuan is a well-known short-term protection. No one has protected her. If you donate Jin Dan and can get her protection, there will be no disaster in that life. Dedicated to Jin Dan, you can completely rely on the big patron of Ling Long Xianzuan. But you must offend too much, and the risks coexist. But the power of Wang Yi, your current power, is too weak. Even if I assist you, it is impossible to seize. To the big place. I am seeking for the rich and the rich. I am giving this opportunity to the prince, and I will choose it. Anyway, I must go to the exquisite and blessed land, and take Jin Dan to the exquisite fairy to celebrate the birthday. Fang Han took up Jin Dan. This song Jin Dan, he is not prepared for refining. The first is the magical power inside, he will, and there is nothing unusual. The second is that he can't refine now, even after he has become a golden Dan, he will refine the 9 ghosts. Third, Jin Dan dedicated to Ling Long Xianzuan, he has a big backing, Ling Long Xianzuan will definitely give more benefits than Jin Dan, this is a profitable business. Maximizing the benefits of your own things, this is the consistent calculation method of Fang Han. This matter, let me consider it. Let's think about another thing. The prince thought about it. It is not good to make a decision. After 7 days, our prince is going to explore an ancient ruin. I don't know if I can you help me? I know this thing is the ancient relic that the Prince Nasser said about the opening of your royal elders. I don't know what it is. What is the danger? Fang Han knows that the royal power of the great emperor empire is very different. Unlike the general secular dynasty, even a master of the secret environment cannot afford to sin. Even under the jurisdiction of Taiyiman, the royal family of the Great Xian Empire has autonomy. Of course, every year, Tai is dedicated to the infinite medicinal herbs and magic weapons. That is an extraterrestrial star. It is an ancient battlefield of my royal elders. I found a transmission ancient array. So I used a lot of energy to stimulate the power of the ancient array. As a result, I opened a door to time and space. On a quirky star, there is a powerful treasure in it. But there are also many tyrannical monsters, demons, and weird secrets. This time the royal elders let our princes explore. It is also a test, the meaning of trials. Oh. Fang Han thought. That is a place similar to the five elements. In fact, in the entire Xianhuang big world, there are many ancient ruins that transmit ancient arrays. Returning to the market is a special case. Of course, in the wild temples, you can lead to the main temple of the five elements, and it is also a transmission of ancient arrays. Every time you find this place, you can get great benefits. This is a good opportunity to improve the strength, but my strength is shallow, and I can't get any benefit. I originally planned to go with Xiaoye real people, but now with Fang Han you help, I can lightly and easily. Hua Qian will not that phone prince to go together. Fang Han asked. Possible. If this is the case, then I will go with you. Fang Han decided. Originally he wanted to rush to the Stargate to send a letter, but thought about it, first escorted the prince into the ancient ruins. It is not a good thing. Maybe you can find what treasure. Now I am clean and tidy, nothing. Good. Prince patted the table and stood up. I have sent people to secretly watch all the movements of the Prince of Foam. If there is news of Hua Tiandu, I will inform you. Fang Han nodded and closed his eyes to go to the temple. In the next few days, there will be nothing safe, and every day, the spirit will be quietly run, and the spirit will be accumulated. At the same time, the spirit will be given to the Peng Peng. Because the days of evolution and engulfing the magic array are not far away. Once the phagocytosis is completed, not only can you learn the endless power of Meng Xiaobai, but it is even better. In 7 or 8 days, it will pass. Fang Han nourish and recharge, and did not concise a Yuan Ying Dan, but stored a huge amount of fairy scent in the body's many meridians, acupoints, and their own blood slowly nourished and gathered. Just waited for the qi and blood, and once again hit Jin Dan, and succeeded in one fell swoop. Hey! Now you and I cooperate. Can Hua Qian be able to recognize me? I definitely can't recognize it. I swallowed 1.3 million jins of Jiuyang Shengshui. Although I couldn't evolve the bridge of it, it inspired many magical powers that hide the breath and change the form. The magic road is originally a secret. Hua Qian is not a longevity secret, can't see it. Come, change and change. Ha ha ha, Huang Quantu has a method of reincarnation which is to change the appearance of temperament, meaning that you have undergone this change. It is equal to reincarnation and reincarnation. It is ever changing. Suddenly, Huang Quantu changed into a robe, but it was not yellow, but emerald green, and it was covered in Fang Han. Suddenly, the whole person of Fang Han, the temperament changed greatly, seems to become a weak scholar. At the same time, his face was distorted and changed, with some secular Chinese people. The whole person was reborn, and no one could recognize it. Huang Quan Emperor established the reincarnation in the past, traveled for hundreds of years, changed various forms, scholars, old farmers, hawkers, officials, military commanders, all sentient beings. No one can see through. I have gained a lot of experience. Now you slightly dressed up, it is completely concealed. I will give you a name, it's called a life study student. This is a nickname for Huang Quan's game. The student is killed? Isn't that recognized by some old antiques? It is the nickname of the game world, and the monastic community does not know. That's good, the nebula baby? Do you want to disguise it? He pretends to be a fart, and he can't sleep in the 5-star bracelet of the sun and the moon. It is the right way. Just dressed up, the prince hurriedly walked in. Looking at the image of Fang Han, he couldn't believe it. This is Fang Han, thinking that someone else ran in. My prince, from today, I am a life study student, a kind of sin like evil and evil. Fang Han said something, nose magic in the throat for 2 turns, actually even the voice changed, no original sound quality. It really didn't change. This reincarnation, it is really wonderful, the role of Huang Quan in the picture, it is really wonderful. Fang Han feels his own changes, my heart is dark. The reincarnation of the fetus is actually a method of changing the hidden. It is true that this change is equivalent to reincarnation. Everything is gone. The hidden method of this change is really horror. Good, so hidden, it is true that no one can see it. The prince knows that this is Fang Han, and he is shocked and happy. Today is the day when our royal children meet, and it is going to the underground. Relics. I have to leave together. No problem, let's go. The most central part of Xianhuang City is a vast square. The center of the square stands with a sturdy Chinese watch. At this time, there are brilliances falling in the sky. They are all royal disciples of the great Xian Empire. They are wearing yellow robes. There are also some waist belts with dragon waist belts, which are some distant relatives and ancestors. The royal family of the great Xian Empire is almost all monks. And there are those who are unfathomable, and they are compared to the last sect of the immortal. This also ensures that they have enough tyrannical power to rule the vast territory of tens of billions of people. What is the concept of an empire with a population of tens of billions? 13 younger brothers. I heard that the 24th brothers have recruited a master recently. The young ancestors of the 18th brothers were abolished between the shots. I don't know if it is true. Among the many royal families, the most cited the person's attention is a person who looks close to 30, young but not steady, majestic and yet pleasing, and temperament. This is the great Xian Empire, which is the highest, easy prince, among the royal family. The stars around him gathered some of the emperors. It is true. This person is like a power. It seems to be a giant in the magic path. The Qingyang ancestor is abolished between the 2 tricks. Although the golden Dan of the Qingyang ancestors is not strong, it is gold. Dan. Even the blue is too late. I don't know if this person is a magical supernatural power. One of the emperors around the easy prince, this prince is extremely powerful, the head of the tiger, the eyes, the slightly curled lips, showing the dare to fight, but without losing the deep character. And the atmosphere is round, but it is also a prince who has been refining Jindan. This prince is the 13th emperor, the Prince of War. Oh! The magical power that makes Jindan masters unable to blue themselves. There is not much in this world. Can you find clues from them? The eyes of the Prince of Easy flashed a glimmer of light. Come on, the 24 brothers came. The 13th emperor, the Prince of War, touched the prince. Go? Let's go and see. Between the words, Easy Prince, body floated up automatically, and flew up. Easy Prince is coming, he is inscrutable, and he is the most powerful among the princes. Be careful. Seeing the Easy Prince flying, the prince has some trepidation, and seems to be somewhat afraid of the 4 princes. No matter, this person is indeed a bit difficult. Fang Han also saw it, secretly looked at the Easy Prince flying, and found that this person's temperament is like a book that can never be read, rich in connotation. I can't see it myself, but if I can handle it, I can know it. I heard that the 24 brothers recruited a master, and that must be the one. Easy Prince stopped in the air, watching the square cold approaching, suddenly opened. Under the life of the scholar, the long-term prince has a great name. Fang Han Juans opened a jade fan, fanned his fan. This fan is not a baby. He is temporarily taken in the palace, so he can dress up as a student. Seeing the appearance of Fang Han, the Easy Prince flashed a hint of confusion that was not easy to detect, as if he had guessed wrong. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.